You don't have to be frightened, little chap, Father said as he lowered Hermie the Miniature Schnauzer into a bath full of lovely warm soapy water. When he was nice and clean, Father dried Hermie with a large brown towel ready for tomorrow's dog show. I'm not sure it's such a good idea. The other doggies will be much more beautiful than me. Hermie, you are such a lovely little dog, and the judges will also think so. Anyway, it's the taking part that matters. Hermie looked up at Father and gulped. Oh, you are so kind to me. That's why I love you so much. I think it may be a good idea now if you jump up onto the bench for a nice brush. Hermie didn't take much persuasion, as he loved a good brush. As Father started brushing his back, Hermie said, Oh, that's so lovely, Father. Please don't rush. When Father moved to the rear end, Hermie shouted, Please be careful, you know about my little problem around there, don't you? Father laughed. I thought the cream had cleared it up. Well, not completely, Hermie shyly said, as he was still a little embarrassed. Ouch! I said be careful, Hermie squealed as Father brushed under his little tail. Sorry, little chap, I'll do the other end. So Father moved to Hermie's beard. He drew the comb through the grey mass of congealed hair. Hermie shouted, Steady on there, that hurts. Sorry, Hermie, but you have some knots, and they must be removed. He combed extra carefully as Hermie continued to wince and moan. Oh, for goodness sake, haven't you finished yet? Yes, all done. Hermie didn't waste any time before jumping off the bench and onto the floor. I think it would be a good idea if we practice your tail wagging, Father suggested, as he set up his latest contraption. Now, what do we have here? Hermie asked. It is a tail-wagging exercise machine. Hermie looked rather bemused at the contraption and looked up to Father. Father, could you kindly explain the reason for this machine? Yes, of course, Hermie. As you can see, there are 2 coloured tennis balls either side. I would like you to place your tail between them. Splendid. Now I would like you to try and hit each ball with your tail. Hermie could see the logic of his machine now, and started to move his tail as accurately as he could to hit the balls. Oh, Father, what do you think of that? Not bad, but I think I will have to move them apart even further to make your tail work just that little bit harder. After making some adjustments, it was ready. Hermie aimed his tail again at the balls. This time it swung across to each ball so hard they almost flew across the room. Faster and faster he went, hitting them spot on each time. Oh, thank you, Father. I rather enjoyed that. Do you think I will win now? Oh, yes, I'm sure you will. What other categories will you enter me in? Hermie excitedly asked. Well, there is the owner who looks like his dog. Well, I must say your eyebrows are similar to mine, but you're almost bald, and I'm not. Hermie laughed. Yes, but what hair I do have is grey, just like yours. Any other categories? Hermie inquired. Yes, there is the best-looking dog. Hermie's eyes lit up, as he had been told many times how lovely he was. The next day soon came, and Hermie and Father quickly ate their breakfasts. Well, it's time to go, Hermie. Father attached the lead to Hermie's nice new collar and led him to the car. He lowered the windows as much as he could to keep him cool. It wasn't long before they arrived at the showground. Ah, here we are, Hermie shouted, as he saw all the other dogs lining up to enter their various classes. We must register as soon as possible, Hermie suggested. Soon, Father and Hermie were in the queue, and Father paid the pound entry for the waggiest tail class. He took Hermie over to the hedge. Come on, if you want to win, you'll have to practice. Why don't we have a go over here? Father pointed to a large oak tree away from everyone else. They both walked over to the tree. Hermie looked back at his tail until it started to go so fast that it was impossible to see whether it was going backwards or forwards. How's that, Father? You must try harder, and at the same time sing this silly song. As I wiggle, I think of you. If I don't, it makes me blue. A little faster I will go, and try so hard to win the show. Hermie soon learnt the silly song and sang it to himself as his tail flew from side to side. I think I'm ready now, Father, Hermie excitedly whispered. Soon it was time for his class, and they lined up with the other 4 dogs and their owners. As the judge walked past each dog, Each one managed a huge wag. Then it was Hermie's turn. The little chap tried as hard as he could, but nothing seemed to happen. Immediately, Father reminded Hermie to sing the silly song, and as he did so, his tail started to wag at an alarming speed. "Oh, my word, what a waggy tail," the judge said, as she patted Hermie on his head. "Well done, little chap. You are the winner." Hermie was so excited that his tail wagged even harder. So hard, in fact, that he hit the dogs on either side of him. "Watch it, mate. That hurt," the large Alsatian said. "So sorry," Hermie gulped, as he looked up at the huge dog. Alistair the Alsatian smiled as he looked across to the other side of Hermie, where Rufus, the Great Dane, proudly stood looking angrily down. "I'm okay, but I think you may need to apologize to him as he looks rather cross." "That hurt, and I do not like being hit by stray tails," Rufus sternly said. Hermie looked up at him and gave him one of his very special smiles. "I don't suppose you may consider forgiving me just this once, could you?" He sniffed nervously, waiting in anticipation of a good telling off. "Don't worry, little chap. I am quite used to being hit by tails. I come from a little hamlet called Tremaine Green, where we live with lots of Great Danes with large tails. We can't help accidentally hitting people sometimes, as our tails are always getting in the way. Our master is fair, but firm, as he used to be an officer in the army. But as long as he knows we didn't do it on purpose, we don't get told off. I am therefore happy to let you off." "Oh, thank you so much. It is an honour to have met such a lovely pair," Hermie said, with a smile. "Phew, looks like I got away with it again." "Yes, it does, doesn't it?" Father laughed as he pulled Hermie towards the next event. He went to the table and paid the nice lady another £1. "Could I have the name of the entry, please?" she asked. "Of course. He is Hermie, a miniature schnauzer." "Oh, how lovely! I've won myself. They're so cute." Hermie's ears picked up when he heard that. Looks like I have a chance of winning. "You mustn't count your chickens," Father said. "Chickens? Are they entering this category?" No, it's a turn of phrase." "Turn of what?" Hermie asked. "Oh, Hermie, it means don't count your chickens until they're hatched." "Well, how many chickens are coming?" Hermie asked. "There are no chickens coming, only dogs." Father insisted. After a short pause, Hermie said, "But surely, if this is a dog competition, chickens can't enter. Hermie, can we forget the chickens and concentrate on the next entry?" Hermie thought for a moment and then started to make chicken noises. "Oh, for goodness sake, Hermie, what are you doing?" Hermie continued clucking. "I am clucking to see if any chickens will answer me. If they do, that means they are in the competition in disguise." "Disguise? What do you think they're going to disguise themselves as?" "You never know. Some chickens are very clever and could dress up as a dog." Hermie continued. "Oh, stop making chicken noises. You don't even speak chicken," Father said. This is where you've been misinformed. I can, in fact, speak fluent chicken." "Oh, really? Maybe you could tell me what you said?" "I would love to, but it is a chicken rule that no one else is allowed to hear what they say." "Hermie, I think this is the most ridiculous statement I have ever heard you say, and you have made quite a few over the years." "We will see," Hermie sneered. He gave one more very long cluck, and they both listened for an answer. There was no answer. "Oh, fair enough. They can't be here," Hermie reluctantly agreed. "Well, Hermie, now that you've got that out of your system, can we get ready to go in the ring?" Father brushed Hermie to make him look as smart as possible for the best-looking dog class. Hermie then walked into the ring with his head held high and his best look-at-me expression on his face. Rufus and Alistair lined up for the judging too, and suddenly 3 of Hermie's friends turned up: Wilma, Scruff, and Jones. "Hello, Hermie," Wilma said. "Have you won anything yet?" "Oh, yes, the waggiest tail competition," Hermie said with an air of confidence. Just as he said that, a bee landed on Wilma's nose. "Get off!" Hermie shouted as he tried to knock it off. Suddenly 2 more bees turned up and settled on Scruff and Jones's noses too. Hermie managed to knock them off just before the judge came towards them to decide upon the winner of the class. Hermie winked at her when it was his turn, and it wasn't long before he was picked as the winner of yet another class. "Little snitch," they all whispered. Suddenly, bzzz, bzzz, Rufus and Alistair noticed a large swarm of bees coming towards them. "Hold on, we are going to outrun these pesky bees. Quick!" All the small dogs hung on tightly to Alistair and Rufus's tails, while they tried to pull them as fast as they could away from the bees. The swarm kept following them behind them, getting closer and closer. Hermie knew he must do something, and he tried clucking like a chicken. But that didn't work. He then decided to be really brave. He turned around and suddenly ran back through the middle of the swarm of bees, keeping his head down as low as he could. The bees were so surprised that they all went off in different directions and flew away into the distance. Bzzz. The crowd saw what had happened and cheered as Hermie collapsed on the ground in an exhausted heap. "My word, what a brave little dog, Hermie," one of the judges said. "I think you should win a special cup for the bravest dog in the show." Hermie felt so proud as he and Father climbed the steps to the rostrum. "I would like to present this cup to Hermie for being so brave." All the competitors clapped and cheered as Hermie took a bow. On the way home, Father said to Hermie, "I think that was a hat trick, Hermie. I am so proud of you. I will give you an extra large bone when we get home." "Oh, Father, thank you."